Towers, how do you do? This is my podcast and it's just for you. It's called TED Talks and it's a load of shite, but I hope you enjoy it because I've kept it like it's about an hour long and all about Teesside, the people, the places and the borough pride.
Oh, Happy New Year! It's 2022 and it is the return of TED Talks, the TED Hanky podcast. I did a burp there. Oh, I'm dead excited. We've got loads of class things to talk about on this week's show. It's back weekly on a Saturday now, so that means if you've got a paper round, you can pop it on a Saturday morning, or if you're going to the borough match, away game, you can listen to it then. Or if your lass is doing your head in, just sit in the toilet having a big poo on a Saturday morning, you can listen to the podcast, you know what I mean? But we've got a new home, and I'm joined in my new home in Ted Towers with Mala.
Yeah, all right, Ted. All right, everybody. Ted, right, I'm a bit concerned because you said it's what, 2022?
Yeah.
Right, why is that calendar you've got me says 2002?
Because it was, I'll be honest, I found it down the back of the wardrobe when I was moving my stuff out to Julie's, and I know how much of a big fan you are of Benito Carboni.
Well, he is class, but yeah, I thought Peter Andre's, he's aged well there, hasn't he?
Yeah, you can Peter Andre. Oh, mysterious worms. That's what he used to sing at the doctor's, apparently, after he
used to sing.
Got pegged off Jordan.
Yeah, well, I would.
You know, but I hate to sing this though, the way she drives me, she'd probably miss your role. So we did a joke there about driving. So we're kicking off on a real good start this week. The news is you'll have heard on the last episode, if you haven't listened to it, me and old Jolie have split up. I was living in Mala's shed and now I have my own penthouse apartment. Don't I, Mala? Do you want to tell everyone where it is and how beautiful it is?
Yeah, well, Ted, technically, it's both of ours, isn't it? Because, remember, I live in that little place next to the kitchen. Do you remember?
Yeah, the larder.
Well, do you calling a larder? I'm all right, mate. I mate, it's class. I built like a little nest in there. It's mint.
Is that you? I heard you jingle jangling the beans the other night.
Well, I'm just getting into my bird song one night. It was class.
But yeah, for the listeners, we've got a lovely little courtyard apartment in Stockton, overlooking lots of fine establishments, and one of the neighbours who does like to have a wank with the curtains open, which isn't nice because he just looks a bit rotten, you know what I mean? So.
Well, and right, I'm sure he knows that I'm looking when he's doing it, because I was waving at him the other day while he was having, I thought he was waving back at me, but he was actually just having a furious wank.
Think so, Mally, you weren't waving from our window, you went outside and stood in front of his.
Well, I wanted to say hello to him. I thought I was super sweet to his hands.
Wanted to see his technique, you know what I mean? So, from what I could see, he knows how to have a talk.
He didn't have a technique, he had a Panasonic.
He did, it was a 90s, that was a 90s musical deck joke there. What was it? A stack, wasn't it? Remember when you used to have a Technic stack? I had an Iowa. Yeah.
No, you had an IOU because you ordered, didn't you?
Oh yeah, Rumbelos.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or was it Williams and Music People? I can't quite remember. I remember when our mate worked at Williams and Music People, and he was a YTS, and we used to go, and he used to tell us all he was the manager, and we used to just watch him play piano.
Well, and he used to play the guitar, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was class, man.
Yes. Anyway, so yeah, we've got a great show in store for you this week. We've got a couple of key features which are going to regularly appear on the show every week as well. We're going to try and keep it down to a nice 30 to 40 minutes so you're not fucking bored, like, sorry I swore there. But it should be good fun.
Can I swear, Ted?
As long as you don't do any sort of racial, homophobic, misogynistic stuff, then yeah.
Oh, well, I can't then.
He just crumpled up a piece of paper there. He had loads written down. He definitely can't say that one, Mala. Bloody hell. No, you can't say that one either. I haven't been able to say that since Vietnam, mate. So.
You haven't seen that one later. You better believe it.
Oh, no.
It's getting ready to start. Don't be I'm like going to be one of them shocky lads, that just says what they want. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm from the top end of Thornaby.
Well, Jimmy Carr can get away with it, can't he?
I've never even met Jimmy Carr.
Well, he just says the most foulest jokes and sells out stadiums and everyone loves it. Then if you get someone like Roy Chubby Brown and he gets petitions against him for doing a joke about vaginas.
Well, you can't talk about mutts nowadays, can you?
Love it. Yeah. What would you say is your favourite word for the lady's part? Because you've said mutt there. I quite like the word blamminge.
Well, listen, right? If you're going to go down on a girl, right?
Yeah.
Mutton out sounds class, doesn't it?
Mutton out does sound good, yeah, it does. I mean, I've seen you before and you reminded me of like when Genghis gets a Munch Bunch yoghurt pot. And your tongue was like super fast, like when you go to the pet shop and you see the lizards.
Well, you've been working on that technique for a long time.
Yeah. I'll always like the word myth.
I like bifted as well.
But bifter can be confused with what you put up your nose, but although I have had some hairy ones, and it did, which is getting filthy. I wanted to try and get this on BBC Radio. Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? No one's going to pick up this podcast when it's so filthy.
Well, right, listen, right, BBC, listen to me now. If you don't even want us on because we say words like bifter, you need to get over yourself, because it's an actual word, isn't it?
It is. I'm going to Google BBC now. Oh, fucking hell, no, I'm not.
No,
I better wipe that history, bloody hell. So we've broke a couple of boundaries already today on the podcast. There's probably more to break, Mella. Have you got anything interesting you want to bring to the podcast table this week?
Well, I've got loads, right? But it's mainly the fact that we've moved to like the new metropolis now, because we are in Stockton, aren't we?
Yeah.
And it is class,
yeah.
Right? And although I am a Thornaby lad, and I do long for the village life in Thornaby, you know what I mean? the local life.
Yeah.
I do feel at home in the big city over here. I mean, they've got some class shops.
They have, yeah.
Start.
Yeah.
They've got some absolutely mint shops.
You did a bit of a tour in your own Stockton to familiarise yourself with your settings. What did you see?
Well, that's usually, it's called begging, but yes, I did. Right, I went in the North Eastern, which is a pub at the top of the corner. It's on like a little corner, right? And I went up there and I was having a drink, and then I went outside and had a fuck, and I looked across the road and there was a shop, and it was called Extra Length, Ted.
Extra Length?
Well,
that's how I used to describe myself on Tinder.
That was your cockhold for rent business that you were doing.
Me cockholding.
Cockholding. You weren't cockholding, were you?
I don't know, I might have been. I've done it before.
Well, yeah, there was one of them shops, right? And I was like, got dead excited, Extra Length, because you know me, I'm just an idiot, and I was trying to take pictures of it, and it was actually for hair extensions.
Oh.
So I was a little bit.
I bet you thought it was a shop that just sold Berkeley mentals. Because they are longer than your John Player specials, aren't they?
Well, either way.
Yeah, he loves his tabs, Mala. Yeah, it's. I mean, you've got quite a few bakers in Stockton and a few pound shops, and I do sometimes like to pop into Heron Foods and see how many bags of prawns I can fit down my socks.
Right, I've just heard as well, and I don't know if you've lot of heard about it, right, but they're going to knock down the Castlegate Centre, aren't they?
Are they?
Right, apparently so. That's what's going to happen. So we've moved in here and they're going to knock half the town down like a week after we moved.
Are we going to be exposed?
Well, yeah, I don't know, but...
not as much as him over the road.
Well, no, you'll be wanking to a new audience, won't he? But no, they're going to knock down the Castlegate Centre and all them class shops are going to go, aren't they? Do you know, like Woolworths? That won't be there anymore, will it, Ted?
No, Woolworths, Rumbelows.
Comet, that'll go.
Peacocks.
Shoe Express.
Shoe Express will be alright. It's on the other side of the high street. I think it'll be safe over there near Barnacles.
Well, which Barnacles though? Because they've gone international. They've got a couple of shops now, haven't they?
Have they?
Well, they've got one up there near the pub near the church. That's a Barnacles.
Is it?
Then they've got the Barnacles eating restaurant that me and you love going to.
Yeah. You don't get good mushy peas.
They've got one in Middlesbrough. That's the international branch.
I remember years ago they used to have like this paedophile stood outside in a yellow Mac. I still don't know if that was a real person or not, or a statue. I can't remember. People from Stockton will remember. It's. Why have you got a new coat on anyway? What's going on?
Yes, go on, Ted. Right, because
I just seen you there. You give it a little brush, didn't you, with your hand in it?
Right,
yeah. Have you been to Peacocks?
No.
Closing down sale.
I got this off the market. Look.
Off Mowbray.
Yeah, well, off Mowbray. Right, you know everyone's cutting around with this, with them Canadian goosies.
All right, yeah.
Look at this. This is a Canadian gook.
I told you can't say them words.
It is because it was made in Taiwan.
Man, you can't say. Right, if we. Disclaimer. I'm going to do a little, like a little alert for that, right? Mala is uneducated and doesn't realise that is an offensive word and you can't say that. But
what can you say to this?
Well, these days you can't say fuck all. Do you know what I mean?
How do you make the joke work?
You think of a better one?
Maybe that's how you get on the BBC.
That's us blacklisted. I didn't write any of that. Just saying. And you're trying to sabotage my career, Mala. I know what you're doing. We need some type of money-making scheme, Mala. One that you can make money when you're asleep, like royalties.
Right, I'm already living off all my royalties because I bet you didn't know I'm actually rich because years ago I was the model for some very, very famous brand. That's right, I was the lad that they modelled the spliffy jeans on. Do you know what I mean? Looking as me there, just walking that.
I once did a photo shoot for Foster's Menswear and I wore a very attractive pair of Wrangler Pro Rodeos but I had to stand in the window for 3 days wearing them. But yeah, no, that's good, Mala. Yeah, Mala used to wear a lot of spliffy and now I understand why, because he was the face of spliffy.
Just have a look at it, it is me.
It is.
It's blatantly me.
With your NAFCO 54 jacket.
That wasn't that posh man, was a 52. It was like
I was expecting you to come up with some racist reply there when you do with jackets.
Right, I'll just like to make an announcement. Right, I am very sorry about my racist term earlier on towards the South Asian community by saying that word that people use in a lot of Vietnam movies. I didn't know any better, but I do now, so I'm not going to say it. But Ted, can we still take the piss out of ginger people and fat people?
Yeah, we're all right with that.
Right,
yeah. We just want to point out we are not racist on the Ted Hanky podcast, or misogynistic, or homophobic. We're just thick. Yeah. Oh, Mala. Oh, I'm loving it here. It's well nice, you know what I mean?
Ted, but watch this, right? Watch this if I open the window.
It's dead windy.
Baltic Stockton, innit?
Close that window now.
Well, we're used to being from a more tropical climate, because we did have a sunbed in the house. Do you know what I mean? So it felt a bit.
Yeah, but I used to put that on my tomatoes.
But I used to sleep underneath it in this class.
We've got to do with a new feature of the week, and it's hopefully going to be every week. And here it is. It's Mala's Mostment. Mala's Mostments.
Yeah, all right, like people, right, Ted. Like this week, right, what I've been doing, which I think class, is I've been playing the misinformation game. Now, this is what all you have to do for the next week, right? You know when you get mums on Facebook, right?
Fat mums.
It could be fat mums, right?
Oh, what about the scruffy ones who, when you walk them behind them, you think, she's all right. And then when they turn around, you're like, no.
Well, they look like a proper shit-up bird from the back, but they turn around and they look like your cousin Dave.
Yeah. It's the equivalent of a cut and shunt from a garage where the rear car's in good nick and the front car's had a bash.
Well, usually had a couple of bashes. Right, but it's a misinformation game, right? So, you know when mums, or fat mums as Ted's just said, right, but I love all ladies, so don't worry if you're fat or anything like that. Mala still loves you.
He does.
Right, anyway, but... mums, right, when they go on Facebook and they go, hey, yeah, what day the Patch Junior kids back at school because I can't even be bothered. Do you know what, right? I just answer stuff like next Thursday and like their kids are 3 days late for school because they're listening to me. And I love it. I've been doing it even more now, right? So you know what?
And you've had your lollipop man outfit on in your photo, so you look like
Exactly.
you're legit, don't you, as well?
Exactly. When people are like, right, hey, yeah, where's good to eat? I just start saying shit I don't even know. Like they'll go like, where's the best takeaway? I just randomly answer and go, hey, yeah, the burn and chip shop is unreal. I've never even been there. Do you know what I mean? Like giving them proper stars.
Chip fat on point.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's, I just like doing that bit of misinformation, right? And I've even started like trolling people by doing it. So when anybody asks for any sort of review, I just start telling them stuff I don't even know. And then I start jumping on like comments, you know, in the comment section on the Gazette. Like they'll be like, outrage as Teesside mum finds carrot in chips. You know what I mean? That was an actual headline.
Picture of holding a carrot up outside the chip shop.
Looking dead sad.
Looking like she's been bummed with it.
Yeah, I'd just start dancing going, here, that's my carrot and I want it back. How dare you nick it, you scruffy cow.
What I like to do, right, on these is I like to put fake announcements on there, you know, like, you know, when people put, can someone keep an eye out for my border terrier? It's got out of the garden, it looks like this. I like to put random ones on saying, crocodile lost. But, like, I just put a picture of, you know, the crocodile out of grot bags.
Yeah, well, why not?
It doesn't get many likes, but I like it.
Well, yeah, it could be. You could put grot bags in there because there's a lot of old birds walking around Thornaby who looks a bit.
Looks
like
all right
bags.
from behind grot bags.
Couldn't shut. Yeah, do you reckon? Right, you know the lad who used to stick his hand up the back of birds.
Fat Paul.
No, the lad on TV. Who
Oh, right. I thought you were about the club. Who goes to the glass collecting?
Do you reckon he ever bumped uglies with grot bags? Right, imagine it, right? Because when we're watching that, right, they're going to be like, what, in the 30s or 40s, Ted? Like we are. Well, probably near enough in our 40s. Well, in our 40s.
I'm 28. What you know?
Right, right, they were like us, right, and then they're like entertainers, so they're on TV. Well, in fact, the bloke who used to have the emu, he must have been a bit older. But they were all dirty buggers back in the 80s and that, weren't they?
Well, I've heard a rumour that his name, Rod, is actually because he had an extendable penis.
Rodul, yeah, well, aye. But I reckon, right, they were like, oh, yeah, they'll get opt in. And then she used to go back and she used to take that green makeup off and he used to be like, get on all fours. That's why she was called grot bags. Because and then he used to get emu and he used to motted her out.
Motted her out with emu.
Well, aye. And then that emu went on Parkinson and he grabbed hold of his face.
He had green pubes in his mouth.
Well, aye. You'll never watch it again. It's like Rod, Jane and Freddie. That was obviously a swinging group, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Keith and Orville, he got in trouble for that one. I think. Can't use that word, Mala.
How many words can you not use, Ted? I need a list. I'm not going to be able to say them.
I hate that duck. That was my Cuddles impression there. So throw it back to the 80s there. Oh, great.
Anyway, that was my moment of the week.
That was Mala's. Moanment or mostment? We'll decide. I'll do 2 jingles. I don't know. Mala's mostments. I'm going to do my religious voice. Oh, just because it's a segue into a story you're going to do about Holy Island.
Let's not talk about that. This is going a bit off key. But right, Ted, right, I want to tell everybody like a spooky tale.
Oh, we are in the courtyard.
Of the green.
Don't tell them where it is.
Well, how many other courtyards are there in Stockton?
Yeah. We're in the Green Dragon Yard, yeah.
We're in the flats in the Green Dragon Yard. Don't come round and bother us, though, unless you, want some booking. Only if you're a girl.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Give that game up a long time ago.
You thought it was one of those medical experiments where they pay you to insert things into your body. And it was, but you didn't get paid. Just bummed.
Yeah, there's a Class Joy Division song that does that, and it sings. I'm not here, I'm going off key. Right, anyway, I want to tell everybody a little time about when I went to Holy Island, Ted. Do you remember that when I was a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, everybody else got to go to Flamingo Land and that, right? But I didn't have much money when I was growing up, right? So because there was 15 of us in the Mallah household, because we were good Catholics, right? The priest used to take us on excursions, and he'd only take the youngest and littlest of the boys, right? So that was with the time when I was younger. I had to get on a bus with 10 other boys, and we all went to stay for a week in a place called Holy Island. Have you ever heard of that, Ted?
Oh, I have, yeah. That's where a lot of people within the church used to go and get the roll.
And you used to go up there, right? And then at night, you were completely cut off from the causeway because the water used to go over it. And we used to stay in this boys' club in Lindisfarne, because that's what the Holy Island's actual name is, Lindisfarne. It's not the band.
All right, yeah.
Right? And if anybody's ever been up there, you'll have heard about the story of the Seal Man.
The Seal Man?
Well, aye. Right, apparently.
Is it the one who sang the Batman song?
No. It'd be class if it was, though. It'd be wicked. Right, no. Right, on a night, right, when all the mist was in and the causeways was over, the Seal Man used to climb, and he used to come out. See, I told you
he was arriving there.
He used to climb out of the ocean because there was lots of seals there, and he used to slowly and slimy thrap through the thrap. He used to thrap through the street. Thrap. That was the noise he'd make.
All right, yeah.
And he used to thrap through the streets. And then he'd come into the boys' conservatory on a night when we were all in blue beds, and he'd steal a boy a day, and you'd never see him again.
And you'd hear him leave and going, "Kiss from a rose."
No, hey, this is serious.
Oh, right, sorry.
Right? And anyway, and the priests used to tell us that story, and they used to say, if you hear the Seal Man coming, just pretend to be asleep and never say anything to anybody about what happened when the Seal Man was in. No, they didn't. Right? And they used to say, pretend to be asleep. And anyway, one night, Ted, right, I could hear the Seal Man coming. Swap. Swap. And he came. Not literally.
After 3 flaps, right up.
I was lying in my bed with my little pants on. And I mean, I was only 20 at the time, so it wasn't I had briefs and stuff on. And anyway, I could hear him coming. And he comes up to, not literally, and he'd come up, and I'd hear a big lick.
A lick? Was that what that noise was?
That was me licking my teeth, yeah. Anyway, right, and then it was all of a sudden my face was dead wet, and I knew the Seal Man was there because he smelt the fish as well. And I thought, this is it, I'm going to be taken. And then some of the brave priests burst in the room, and they grabbed hold of the Seal Man, and they said, "Come on, Keith, let's get out of here." And they pulled him off because I think he was called Keith, the Seal Man. And then I was gone. And the next morning I woke up and I went to tell, I'm not going to say the priest's name because we'll get done. And he already has been. No, he hasn't. Right, and I went to see him and I said, "Father," I'm not going to say his name. "Father, hey, did you see the Seal Man?" And he went, "Never speak of the Seal Man again. That never happened."
And then he went, "But we're never going to survive unless we get a little crazy." Do you know what? I was looking at the lyrics to that there, and do you know that song? Do you know it starts off? This is just by chance. The lyrics actually start off to "Crazy" by Seal. In a church, by the face, he talks about the people going under. Only child know. Honestly?
Ted,
A man decides after 70 years that what he goes there for is to unlock the door while those around him criticise and sleep. And through a fractal on a breaking wall, I see you, my friend, and touch your face again. Miracles will happen as we trip. But we're never going to survive. That's it, the seal, man. Yeah, it was about children. I didn't realise that the Crazy by Seal was about nonsense on Holy Island.
Well, you learn something new every day, and I tell you what, it does make sense because they didn't have a causeway to stop them getting to the water. They had a dam ski.
I like it. And I've just seen there that there's a lyric that just says, "Oh, a little bit, oh, a little bit." And then it goes. Then I don't know what happens. He goes, Amanda decides to go along after 17 years. Oh, darling.
Do you think Seal ever went to Wally Island?
I mean, from what I remember, Seal's songs sound great, but when you think of the lyrics, they're shit.
Well, it's all about the beat you put in, isn't it, Ted?
Here, let me have a look to the words to Killer.
Now, are these Killer lyrics, or just the lyrics he used to sing while he was winning at Killer?
So you want to be free to live your life the way you want to be. Will you give? If we cry, will we live or will we die? It's about an ultimatum with a priest.
He is talking about Holy Island. This lad is He is the seal man of Holy Island.
Yeah.
We figured it out.
Yeah. Jaded hearts heal with time. Shoot that, love. Oh. So we can stop the bleeding. Solitary brother. Is there still a part of you that wants to live?
Brothers. They're brothers, we're brothers, don't you? Yeah. Priest, and then the monks.
And then the nuns. Solitary sister. Is there still a part of you that wants to give? I did a blowjob motion there.
Excommunicated. I don't think people can see your actions on a podcast. No. You were sort of doing a sucking yourself off thing there, weren't you?
Yeah, I did actually put my head on my own lap there because I can do that.
So could I after I got back from Holy Island.
Oh, bloody hell. I think we need a little break after that, Mala. But not for the wank, though. We're almost approaching the end of the show, but I think it would be very rude not to play a little episode, wouldn't it, from the Offshore Boys? Yeah! I fucking love these Doyles, yeah.
Right, well, do you know what I mean? Hey, Piper, here we are. Right,
Where are we?
We're in the wilderness, man, do you know what I mean? Because I thought, do you know what's better than being offshore? Being onshore.
Onshore, but in the wilderness.
Being in the wilderness.
Classmate, yeah. Hey, I better put my safari brightling on, you know what I mean?
Well, nice bit of camouflage up there.
All right, that in it, you know what I mean? Fucking class, man. Start fires and everything with it.
Well, look, how many leagues are we under the sea there, kid? Because it just tell you
10,000 leagues below the sea. I don't know what that means.
You know what I mean? 10,000. It must be, quality.
But it's class. Like it's got a Dua Lipa ringtone.
Well, it does.
You know what I mean?
Well,
class, man.
Yeah, this is what I brought the new Porsche Cayenne, as you can see.
Class is like, you know what I mean?
Road, you know what I mean? So I thought we'll do it offshore style.
I tell you what, though, you fucking turn absolute radio off your dial. How old are you? You know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? I'm keeping it real. You know what I mean? Wouldn't want one of your onshore radios. We're talking about offshore.
Get a bit of TFM on, you know. Well, it's what all the lasses listen to.
Well, listen, I tell you what, all the lads listen to a bit of house music offshore. You know what I mean?
They love it, don't they? We all love it. Like sometimes we'll have like kitchen parties and we'll invite DJs round and that, and we'll just pretentiously punch the air.
Well, you're having a bit of that, you know what I mean? Well, anyway, now we're onshore, but we're offshore, mate. There's only one thing we can do with the working community, and that's shore for wealth.
Well,
you know what I mean? Wealth, exactly. So I'm just going to step out of my Porsche Cayenne now and get out the way of these people.
Hang on, you put all
Well, I'm putting these hunters on.
Yeah, put the hunters on, yeah.
Well, these are special offshore hunters.
Yeah, fucking hell, buddy, they're weird as them, mate.
Well, it's because I'm wading through plunge most of the time.
You look like a slut.
Well, and then I've just got to put on my Canadian Goose jackets. Do you know what I mean? I've got it up on that. It's I've been just put this on up here. That's lovely. 900 quid, mind.
Class that, like, yeah.
Well, here.
Made with proper goat feathers.
Well, proper goat feathers, yeah. And I've got you one of these as well. Like, here, have one of them.
Here, what the fuck? I'm not wearing that. Trespass.
That's a trespass gilet.
I'm not wearing that. Trespass. Where'd you get that from?
Well, have a look inside.
Boys.
Have a look inside. Have a look inside.
What's that?
It's trespass, no pass, don't mess about pass. Do you know what I mean? It's a new offshore brand. Well, it's class.
Big class, that, like. It's got 5 internal zips.
Well,
Well, star like Leo Bifter, isn't that?
Do you know what they're for? Well, do you know what I mean?
Bifter.
Do you know, like...
Bernaphones.
Bernaphones and Bifter. Do you know, like, when you're St. Bernard used to come up and rescue people, and they just come up and they have some whiskey.
Is that big fat dog?
Well, no, well, aye. Don't call your mother that. Right? When they had that, well, now when we're offshore, man, you just come up, you know, when a lad's desperate and he's on his arse, man, you can just come up and revive him with a bit of whiff.
Bit of whiffy from the old brandy barrel.
Bit of whiffy from the brandy barrel.
That's class, that. It wasn't whiffy like we do shots of apple sours.
Well, you can put what you want in there with offshore, man. Well, right. Well, just turning on my new GPS, do you know what I mean, from this thing. And, like, we've got to find, because we're in the wilderness, but I think before we set off, let's go for a couple of pints, man.
Well, you know, what we're doing now, are we doing like some rambling, or are we doing like some camping, or what?
Well,
what we're doing
you know what I
here?
mean? First of all,
I packed all sorts, mate, you know what I mean? I've brought, guess who?
Well, what's that bean machine you've got there, kid?
What's that, what?
That bean machine, that pan. Is that for doing beans in?
Well, aye.
Well, you know what I mean?
Just a pan, you dickhead. You
Well,
know what I mean?
it says Louis Vuitton.
No, I'm boiling up some meth.
Oh, right. well,
I'm not really. No, yeah, it's for beans. I've got some spaghetti hoops as well, but the proper class offshore ones,
well,
like.
Heinz, mind you.
Yeah, none of that fucking other shit one.
We want an onshore beans. We've got an offshore beans, you know what I mean?
No, we don't want any of them Branston beans.
Well, come on. Here, let's get to the pub. 3 on, 3 off. 3 pints on, 3 brandies off, and then we'll get ourselves walking up this mountain here.
All right, lasses!
Well.
Look at them there. Fucking hell, you get it right up the... All right, yeah, hi, Dal. Yeah, I'm just doing a bit of rambling and that, you know what I mean? Me mate Barry.
Yeah, is that your Porsche Cayenne?
Yeah, it's mine, yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? This is my son, you know what I mean? I think of him like a son.
My dad.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I
Dead old
booked his
dad.
mum. Do you know
Books
what I
her
mean?
mum.
Well, don't book her. She just piped us off, mind. Do you know what I mean? She doesn't like anything vaginal.
Hey, you're going to pipe me off in the back of the car, Jan?
Yeah, well, no, I won't. But yeah, is that a lovely trespass you've got on there?
Yeah,
That's
and
nice, isn't it?
you're offshore, aren't you? Where did you get your lips done at? That one in Stockton where they're doing like drips.
Well, yeah, well, I've had a few drips in my time.
I'll fucking drip my balls in you. What?
Hey, well, like, listen, girls, jump in the back of the car, Jan, right, because I've had to change your heart. Rather than doing a bit of rambling, we're going to do it offshore style. We're going to drive this car up that mountain. Come on.
Yeah,
let's get in.
right, man, get in 4x4, get in, lass. And yo.
Well, mind, we'll knock the
hell.
radio on, so let's have a bit of offshore, off-road music.
Right. Oh, class, I love this song. Yes.
Hang on, let me just drive the video. Get out of the way.
Do a pretentious hand push in the air like that, like you've been in a kitchen party.
Hey, look out, there's a fucking... Hey, what's that hairy dog up there? Hey, I've lost the control cargo. Grab the wheel, man.
I've got it, but that's a fucking cow you're nearly at there. It's not a dog, you dickhead.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean? I've had too much of that whiff.
Pull over, we need a whiffy break.
How could I pull over?
Yeah, hell, the Cayenne's got a whiffy shelf.
Yeah, well, do you know what I mean?
Here, press that button there, see what it does. Oh, that was, I'd fancy that, like, isn't it?
Well,
you know what I mean, eh? Chalk it up on there.
Did you ever expect anything of the such anyway?
Why?
Hey, where the girls going?
Oh!
Hey, yeah, I'm off user. I'm not doing nothing like that here.
Shut up, you can't get it over your big
Let's
mantelpiece
go.
lips. Walk down the hill, take your fat mate with you.
Well, do you know what I mean, Pipo? We've got a problem, right?
I'm not piping you off.
Bill, we've got a problem.
What?
It seems that even though we've been working offshore, do you know what I mean, supplying oil, luxury item for the world, we've actually run out of oil in the Cayenne, man.
You haven't put any fucking fuel in?
Well, it's, you know what I mean, it was only that cheap as the fuel, and I didn't want to be using that, you know what I mean? I wanted just pure luxury, Castle GTX type of fuel.
I wonder why you were smacking your back pocket when you were putting it in.
Well, so what we're going to be doing... We're just checking the Wi-Fi was there. What we're going to be doing... Good, well, what we're going to have to do now, mind, is we're going to have to probably walk back down the chute.
Oh, fuck
I
that.
don't know where we're going. I can't even get a signal. My Canadian Goat jacket's wet. I don't know what I'm doing. You've run out of Wi-Fi. This is turning into a disaster, mind.
You've had too much Wi-Fi. Your head's spinning, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, let's get ourselves down this hill here.
What are you doing? Barry? What are you doing? Wake up. What are you doing, man?
Fibo, get out. Get help.
Oh, a good job my watch has got fucking emergency GPS built into it. Yeah, I need an emergency. Emergency, we've got an offshore lad. He's down. Offshore. Workers assemble.
Well, what's that? What's that in the sky there? I can see. What's that light there, Paco?
What?
Is that a chopper?
It's a chopper.
They've sent the chopper for us. Well, let's get on the chopper. Well, they've sent the chopper. Well, are you?
I'm on. He's flashing the light. He's the chopper.
I don't care. Get us out of here. I'm out of Wi-Fi.
He's out of Wi-Fi. Put that rope ladder down.
I'm out of beach.
The state of that. Yeah. He's in the rope access level. Look at the state of that ladder. Guppy bastard. Get out when you got this round here. Here you go.
Can you tell me what you two were doing on Rosemary Topping during this thunderstorm, boys?
Rosemary Topping? I thought we were out in the lakes, Barry.
Lakes? No, you're a Rosemary Topping. We've had to divert this air ambulance to come and pick you two barefoot your idiots up.
Fucking hell. Yeah, you're flying that wrong as well, Doyle.
Well, wouldn't want one of your onshore choppers.
Drop us off at the Garrick in Stockton. well. Another brilliant episode of the Offshore Boys there. Anyone would think it was improvised on spot, wouldn't they? But, you know, it's well written,
Ted,
scripted.
I told you that was a real one. I told you it was a real
Shut up
brand.
about them jackets. Fucking Dolly's callbacks you're doing in. I noticed you putting it back on. What you doing now? Where are you going?
Yeah, well, I'm just going to go buy the new Seal album. It's got me banging the mood, you know what I mean?
Freaking hell.
Yeah, well, and Stockton, because it's dead scruffy and that, they still have an hour price, so I'll be getting off. Well, I'll see you later, podcasters. Ted, I'll be back later on, and I tell you what, if you're lucky, I might bring something from Extra Lens.
Oh, Mala there. Off to pick up some type of sexual object from Extra Lens as he pops to our price for the Seal album. Oh, who remembers tracks on Stockton High Street? I used to love going there for my Queen albums. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to the show this week. Mala and myself will be back next week on Saturday morning. Every Saturday morning we will go live. Well, we won't go live. It'll be pre-recorded. We'll just pretend we're live at 7 a.m. So you can do what you want. You can listen to it then. Please share the podcast around. Let other people listen to it. Join the TED Talks Ted Hanky Facebook group. There's a group on Facebook now. It's associated to my page because I've got loads of bands on my page and I can't do fuck all. But it means we'll be posting episodes into there, little teasers, trailers, and rumour has it I've managed to persuade Mala to create his own fan page. So keep an eye out for that as well, and you might get a little flash of Mala's knackersack. Yeah, that could be his Twitter handle. Right, there we go. So, listen, we've hardly, in the past two episodes, we've not even commented once about Chrissy Wilder taking over the borough, but I think we'll save that for, a time where he's a bit more settled, because I don't want to give him praise and I don't want to give him abuse just yet. So let's see how he gets on in the transfer window. But as per usual, keep following the show. I love you all. Up the borough and believe.